Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is Sarah. If you are new here, a little bit about me. I have actually been a nomad for the past 4 years. In 2018, I quit my job as an ICU nurse and bought a one-way ticket to Colombia. Fast forward 4 years later, I am here and I'm currently living in Colombia until my current student visa is up. Today I want to talk to you about 8 tips that if you're thinking about starting this nomadic journey and you're kind of lost and you don't know where to start, I kind of want to give you like a little bit of tips, basically what I did 4 years ago. With that said, this was 4 years ago, and now I think it's even easier to go nomadic than it was when I did it. And even just everything being online, it's just incredible to see how the workforce has been changing, which is allowing you to take more of a nomadic lifestyle. So the first thing before I embark on any sort of change in my life or journey or anything, know why you're doing it. For me, my why was because I wanted to explore, and I just had this intuition and this need to do something different, this need and this want and desire to have a different lifestyle that I was leading at the moment. So my why was really because I wanted an adventure, and that is what I got, and that is what I'm still currently getting. So know why you're embarking on this crazy journey. I say crazy, but it's not crazy, but it is crazy to a lot of people. And a lot of people, when I started, did not understand why I was doing it. I said because I want to. It's something that in my life, if I look back and I didn't do it, it would be a regret. It would be something that I would look back and regret. So I want to have as few regrets as possible in life, and you just never know what's gonna happen. So yeah, always know your why. And that can be with anything, in business, in starting a new job, quitting a job, or going nomadic. The first thing that I would recommend to do is to stop buying stuff. That sounds so simple, right? But it's not, because in the US, we are so addicted to buying things. Like, I had so much stuff when I finally was going through my belongings that had tags on them. I never wore them, but I was compulsively buying. And now with Amazon and being able to order everything like immediately and having it right at your fingertips has caused this problem to exponentially get so much worse. So maybe start thinking about where you're spending your money. Yeah, so stop spending. This also leads to start cooking at home, because when you stop buying out and eating out and buying things and you start cooking at home, you realize how much money you are actually saving. Start going to stores like Aldi's. Go to Aldi's, go to Walmart and buy your food, because really the quality of food in the US is so bad that I think even organic, non-GMO is still bad, because here in Colombia, I eat everything and I have lost weight, I feel better, and my face isn't breaking out. So I think just the quality in general in the US is just bad. So do your best, but just buy what you can eat, right? I eat a lot of rice and beans, but buy food that you can cook healthily. I always say eat healthy, but that's your discretion. Do whatever you gotta do to save money, really. If you're embarking on this journey, I'm just gonna tell you, just do what you have to do. Number 2, simplify your life. This kind of goes into number 1, but you wanna simplify your life, because when you're starting to look at the things that you're buying, think, well, do I already have something like that at home? Do I actually use it? So start thinking, changing your mindset about the things that you have in your home that you are buying, and start selling your things. You can go on OfferUp, you can do eBay, you can do Poshmark, you can do Craigslist. Just start listing the stuff that you haven't used or worn and start selling it. And once you start selling it and getting rid of things, you will start to feel lighter, and you will start to think, wow, how good is it that I don't need all this stuff around me? And this isn't even just for being nomadic, this is for life in general. You really probably have more stuff than you actually need, and to have a goal of being nomadic just makes you, it just helps you do it faster. I don't know. The third thing that I recommend doing is combing your finances, like going through every single checking account, every single credit card. See where your money is going, because if you don't know where your money is going, you don't know how you're gonna save. So when I started doing this, I had like recurring charges of things that I had signed up for years, and it was only $5 a month. Like me, I didn't look at these things. I had probably $100 to $200 of just random things coming out of my account, because when you sign up for something, you forget to go back and cancel it, and then it's just recurring, and you're like, oh, I'll deal with it later, I'll deal with it later. But that $200, I can live off that in a different country. $200, I can live my entire life here in Colombia. So think about, change your mindset on money. What can I do with that money in another country? Yeah, here maybe it's only fill up your tank of gas at the moment, but when you go nomadic, that could be your whole hostel for a month. That could be your living for a month. That could be a plane ticket somewhere. So start thinking about money in a different way and see where your money is going. That is going to help you to really make smarter decisions on your finances, even in your everyday life. Now, does not have to be about being nomadic, but just in your everyday life. Once you start thinking about it this way, then it's going to make it easier to pay off your debt, because you're going to stop buying, you're going to have extra money, and then you're going to see that pile of credit card debt that you might have. So start paying it off. Make your minimum payments. See if you can, like, what you can do to consolidate this into one thing, and see how much you need to pay for a month, and then figure it out for the year, how much you need to get there. Stop spending on that credit card. Stop spending. Use points. Pay it off. Use anything you can just to pay off that debt, except student loans. I'm going to tell you, when you go abroad and you make less money, you can defer your student loans. That's what I did. I know defer might not be the answer, but whatever. I'm going to be paying these until I die, so why not defer them? So my student loans are the least of my worries, to be honest with you. And if I'd let them hold me back, I would have never left, because, I don't know, I'm still paying them. But you just have to figure out what you can do. Do an income deferment, do a pay them off based on how much you make, and that will really be helpful. The fourth thing on the list is pick up a side hustle. Anything. You can teach English online. You can actually start teaching English online before you go abroad, if that's something that you think you would enjoy. You can work for DoorDash. You can drive Uber. You can drive Lyft. There's like so many like random things that you can do these days to make extra money. So start a blog, start a YouTube channel. I mean, my channel is not monetized yet, but I do have a blog that I make money off of. So if you're interested in that, the link is below. You can see what I write about. I went from 0 to 4,000 subscribers in less than 7 months, and yeah, that is my full-time income at the moment. So just see what you can do. Start a passion project, start filming, getting ready for your journey, what you're doing. People will follow that. I love stuff like that because I've been there. I know what it's like. So for me to see, oh yeah, I love this, and wow, so interesting, to learn something new. So for me, it's that I would do something like that. The fifth thing is, a lot of you guys have been working from home anyways. Like my sister has been working from home for the past 2 years. Now she has a kid and a husband, so she's not thinking about going remotely, living abroad, but maybe she wants to take her family and work in an RV, and maybe they want to live like a nomadic RV life. Ask your boss, say, hey, I'm gonna be going on this journey, and is it okay if I don't come into the office anymore? Is it okay if I go remotely? Is it okay if I work abroad? Ask him, ask her, ask them, see what they say, because the worst that they're gonna say is no. And then, you know, if your goal is to go nomadically, start looking for a different job, because there will be a job and you might make more money. Every time I've quit a job, I've got a job that I've made more money at. So, and now I'm building my own business, so I'm not making more money, but it's mine. It's for me. It's something that I do that I love doing. So it doesn't hurt to ask, right? And then you can always look for remote jobs. There are so many remote jobs. Even nurses are working remotely. But just ask if you can go overseas. You never know. Because if you don't need to be in person, why not? Why not? The seventh thing that you should do is decide what type of nomad you want to be. Do you want to be living in your car? Do you want to live in a van? Do you want to have an RV? Do you want to go abroad? What do you want? You need to know what type you want to be, because that's going to determine whether or not you sell your house, whether or not you sell your car. And with that, you're going to have to pick a date. For me, I picked a date, I booked a ticket, and then I quit my job So I had a definitive date of when I knew I was leaving. I knew I had to sell my car by a certain date. I knew I had to be on that plane by a certain date. So you need to pick a date and a time of when you will make the leap to your new nomadic adventures. And number 8, realize that living abroad is not as expensive as living probably where you're at. If you're watching this, most likely in the US, it is not as expensive. And when you go abroad, you can find ways to make money online. There are so many different ways, like I talked about before, but you can also volunteer. I've volunteered all over the world. I do work away. You can do house sitting. House sitting, basically you watch someone's animals or house for a month at a time and you stay for free. You take care of their animals, but you have a free place to be. The biggest expense while traveling is your housing. So if you can find a way to get a free bed, a free house in exchange for some work, that is going to be your ticket. That is going to be the golden ticket. For me, that was how I've actually saved money traveling, because I work and then I volunteer. So for me, I would do both because this is what I really want to do. But also, you need to realize that this life is not the easiest life. It is challenging, but anything that's challenging is usually always worth it. For me, I would not trade it for anything, because I have learned so much more about myself. I have learned what drives me. I have learned how to be self-sustainable. I have learned also that I also feel that I'm creating less of a carbon footprint. I feel that I don't drive, I don't have a car, I take public transportation, or I walk. And I fly as little as possible. So I feel that environmentally I'm trying to do my best as well. And if I'm volunteering and trying, just figuring it out, and also it just helps you, it helps a lot to figure out what you're good at in life and how resourceful you are. And if you really want to make something happen, in the end you will make it happen. After a year, when I first started 4 years ago, I thought I'll probably go back to work after a year. I'm gonna hate it. What am I gonna do after so long? And then, like, the longer you do it, the more addicting it is. Knowing the fact that I know that I have every single thing that I need for my entire life on my backpack is very liberating for me. It's addicting, it's liberating, and yeah, I don't think that I would ever go back to a quote-unquote real life. And yeah, I'm living here now, but I still have everything I need in my backpack. I don't buy things that I don't need. And that whole mentality of when I started, the decreasing my things, buying less, it's still stuck with me, because it's not just a phase that I'm going through, it is a lifestyle. This whole nomadic, for me, downsizing, becoming a minimalist, is a lifestyle. It's not a fad. It's not something that, oh, you'll get over it. No, it's like how I choose to live the rest of my life. At this moment, I think that, who knows what will happen. I also change my mind a lot, so who knows. Anyway, so I hope these tips helped you. And if you are going nomadic, drop me a comment, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much. Talk to y'all later. Bye.